Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Kela Smith, CEO of the Hormone Puzzle Society, a woman's health hub for fertility, hormones, and the business of coaching, creator of the Hormone Puzzle Method, an infertility warrior, two-time boy mom, and women's health expert. This podcast is for women struggling with infertility, painful periods, terrible PMS, or really any symptom of hormone imbalance that they are ready to eliminate for good. Tune in weekly because we will be interviewing amazing experts in the field of women's health, breaking down those hormone walls, nerding out on nutrition, and having way too much fun. Whether you're just beginning your fertility journey or you've been struggling for years, we are going to finally help you put those pieces of your hormone puzzle back together so that you can get pregnant and eliminate those pesky symptoms for good. Are you ready? Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's get started on your road to transformation. Hey y'all, welcome back to the show. This is Coach Kela Smith, your host for this program, and I am so happy that you guys are here with me today. And if you listened to my first show, you know that each month, the last episode is dedicated to coaches and people who want to be coaches to teach you skills that you can use in your own coaching practice. So if you're already a coach, or maybe you're thinking about becoming one, you can learn so many skills from listening to these episodes. And I wanted to do this piece of my podcast because I felt like this was the one piece that a lot of people are missing. So maybe you're somebody who is just thinking about starting their business and you just really don't know where to start. If you're like me, you probably felt a little overwhelmed. There's so much information out there, and there's so much information about marketing and social media, and sometimes you just don't know where to look, and you don't know what is going to work and what's not. And if you're also like me, you probably went to health coaching school, and I learned a little bit of marketing in health coaching school, but not nearly as much as I needed to know, and not nearly as much as I know now. So that's what I want to teach you. This is the piece that I really want you guys to understand, to learn from. Each week, I will give you an actionable step so you can start to implement that into your business if you have one, or if not, then it's just going to help you kind of start thinking, okay, these are the things that I need to be thinking about if I want to start my own coaching practice. And so it'll get you ready for if you do decide to start a practice. If you have no desire to start a coaching practice and you're never going to do that, then this episode might not be for you. But please tune in to my other episodes, which are all about fertility and hormones. If you're struggling with infertility, if you're struggling with hormones, then those episodes would be for you. So today I want to talk a little bit more about what is a fertility coach, what I do in my day-to-day business, how I get my clients, and so you guys can start thinking about this. So what is a fertility coach? So a fertility coach is somebody that works with a person who is struggling with infertility. Maybe they're working with a couple, maybe they're working with the woman individually, the man individually, but you really help them on their journey to getting pregnant, whether that's naturally or whether that's through assisted reproductive technology, but you give them all the pieces that they need in order to boost their fertility naturally. So depending on what type of fertility coach you are, some coaches decide to go in a little deeper with nutrition. Some coaches go deeper into mindset. Some are more focused on the environment. If you're like me, or in my practice, what I do is I developed my Hormone Puzzle Method. So I kind of focus on all of it to help boost fertility naturally. So depending on what kind of coach they are, depends on kind of how their practice is structured. The other piece of being a fertility coach is the accountability and the support piece. So as a coach, I am holding my client's hand. I'm supporting them through this journey, whether it's natural or through assisted technology. I am really being that person that's there for them. I'm a shoulder to cry on. I'm a cheerleader. I'm their support. And a lot of times I find that women just don't have this. I mean, this was the entire reason I started my practice, is because I went through infertility and I didn't feel like I got support from my doctors, from my, anybody that I was kind of working with, the practitioners that I was working with. Most of them had not been there. And so they couldn't speak firsthand with me about the fertility journey that I was on and the struggles that I was having and the frustrations that I was feeling and the sadness that I was feeling. Like, they couldn't really help me with that. So that's what we as coaches do. That's what fertility coaches do. We help with that piece of it. So it's all very important. So what do I do in my day-to-day? So I am a full-time fertility coach. I treat my business as such. So I have dedicated office hours. So I'm in my office from 7:30 to 4, Monday through Friday, because that is my working hours. And during those hours, I'm either seeing clients, I'm doing a podcast, either mine or somebody else's, I'm working on a summit, I'm in my Facebook groups doing lives, I'm on Instagram doing posts, I'm researching different fertility treatments or different things that I'm wanting to learn about. So those are some of the things that I do in my day-to-day. It's all such a passion of mine, so I don't really even feel like it's work. I look forward to coming into my office every day and just working with these wonderful clients and learning as much as I can. So that's my day-to-day. Some coaches choose to just be part-time. So they, kind of block out certain hours with, what they're going to do and how they're going to work. So if you're a coach or if you're thinking about being a coach, you can really structure your business however you want. You can either work part-time, you can work full-time. I definitely encourage you to structure your day so you're not just kind of flying by the seat of your pants. You have a set schedule. You are working in your business certain hours and you're doing certain things. And I even take that a step further. I block schedule my entire day. So what that means is I dedicate certain hours to certain projects. So I'm in my office from 7:30 to 4. So maybe from 7:30 to 8, I'm answering emails. From 9 to 12, I'm talking with clients in private consultations and private calls. From 1 to 2, I am doing discovery calls. So I really break my day into certain things that I do on a regular basis. So I don't come into my office and kind of like just flying by the seat of my pants. I definitely have a structure to things. And so for you, if you're a coach or if you're thinking about being a coach, then I would suggest that you structure your day, that you block schedule, that you decide how much time you want to spend in your practice, and then you do that on a regular basis. I also have tasks that I schedule out weekly. So there's certain things that I have to do every week. Writing my newsletter, writing my blog, doing my podcast recordings, editing my podcast. Even though my VA helps me a lot with that, I'm learning. So there's certain things that I do on certain days. So I definitely block schedule all of that in so it doesn't get missed. So how do I get my clients? Being visible, being on social media. And it's not like I spend all day, every day on social media, but I'm definitely visible. I am nurturing people on social media. I'm talking with them. I'm reaching out to see if I can help. If, I provide a lot of value. I try to come from a place of love and of giving. And so I'm constantly, on social media and just talking about how I can help people. So a lot of my clients come through that. I also am very big on collaboration. So I do a lot of collaboration with different practitioners and different people that have podcasts and have summits and have, guest blogging. And so I make sure I'm really active in that way. And that way I can, one, meet really cool experts that I, can learn something from. And two, it helps me to really just get my name out there and connect with somebody in their audience when I might not have, gotten in front of that person on my own. I also get a lot of clients locally. I'm very involved in my local community. If anybody listening is in Nashville, I'm involved with my local chamber of commerce. I've got a lot of different connections within my community, different wellness connections. So I try to stay connected to local practitioners as well as virtual. So where do you start? If you're thinking about starting your practice, where do you start? Well, the first thing I would say is just research. What are your options? You definitely want to get more education if you're brand new. Maybe you have your own fertility story and you've thought about going into coaching. So I would say research some coaching schools. Hormone Puzzle Society, shameless plug, has a coaching certification. So if you're thinking about becoming a fertility coach, definitely look into our certification. It's very comprehensive. It's 40 weeks of content and all about how to coach a client and different things about the menstrual cycle and the science of fertility and all the things you need to know to start your practice. So definitely look there. There's also many other wonderful health coaching schools that teach you about fertility coaching. So I would say just do some research and find the one that fits for you. I would also start thinking about your niche. So I talk about this a lot. Obviously you're thinking about being a fertility coach, but you can also niche yourself down from that. Maybe you want to be an IVF coach because you're going through IVF. Maybe you want to be a natural fertility coach because you went through natural fertility. Maybe you don't quite know yet. So that would be another place where you need to research. So those are my two suggestions. Figure out where you can further your education and do that, and then figure out where you want to niche yourself and what clients you want to speak to. So I always want to give a marketing tip at the end of every one of these lessons or these shows. So my marketing tip for today, I actually created something, and if you're watching me on YouTube, you will be able to see this. This is called my puzzle blueprint, marketing puzzle blueprint. And this is 6 steps that I think everybody should take when they're starting to build their business or if they're thinking about going into coaching. And so today we're going to talk about step number 1, which is P, which means profile optimization. And so this is making you realize how important it is to optimize your profile if you're starting a business or if you're trying to build a coaching business. And so the first thing that someone does if they're interested in working with you is they click on your profile. And so making sure that that profile is optimized is very important. And so what does that mean? Well, the first thing is you want to have a very descriptive intro. You want to say your name, who you are, and who you help. So like for me, mine says Kela Robinson Smith, fertility coach. People know exactly who I am, who I help. I have a very clear picture, so if somebody can look at me, it's not too dark, it's not faded, it's not grained. So definitely having a really nice profile picture is important. And then you want to talk a little bit about your business, tell, kind of who you help. I say I work with women struggling with infertility who want to boost their fertility naturally, and I help them get pregnant through my hormone puzzle method. So that's just saying who I am, who I help, how I do it. So you definitely want to do that. Then you want to put any links. So if you do have a website, great. If you don't, that's okay. You definitely want to have your links in there. You want to have, if you have any other social media links, put those in there as well. So that'll get you guys started. If you want a copy of my 6 steps business building puzzle blueprint, then reach out to me through this podcast. You should have my email and my website link. So reach out to me and I'd be happy to give you your own copy. And your action step for today is to go and optimize your profile. Whether you are a coach or you're thinking about being a coach, you want to have an optimized profile. So go work on that today, and you'll be one step closer to building that profitable coaching practice that you so desire. So thank you guys for listening today. Check me out on my website. I'm at CoachKela.com. I would love to chat with any of you and see how we could help each other. So thank you. Bye. Thanks for tuning in today to the Hormone Puzzle Podcast. Check out the show notes for today's episode at CoachKela.com. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and leave a review. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next week.